Gran Turismo, our darling, our... Gran Turismo isn't just a game. It's a racing sim. Okay, but seriously, it's a museum of cars, history, cancelled and present, past, everything in between. Throughout all their games, they've had some incredible cars like the Vision Gran Turismo cars, for example. But of course, what's pretty obvious is the new games, they may have reduced the amount of cars they have just a smidge, just a little bit, for good cause. The reasoning, of course, is because some of these cars were from the PlayStation 1. They were disgusting in quality. So to rebuild all of these was a huge milestone for the game. But again, they kind of lost something by doing that. Gran Turismo 6 had over 1,200 cars in it, most of which were MX-5s. But it was also home to some of the weirdest and craziest concept cars I have ever seen. And that's what we're going to focus on today. These are some beautiful concept cars from Gran Turismo 6. Starting off with this, the Mazda RX-8. It looks familiar. It's almost like they've got the body kit from Need for Speed Car and went, bah, full auto sculpt. It's just a massive chunk. Also, I don't know about you, but it's kind of screaming. You know the Tesla Model 3 refresh? Right, let's check it out. Look at the back of it. Why is it just like one piece? Now, I've actually, something really interesting. I'm using something to upscale Gran Turismo to 1440p. Here's an image to demonstrate the upscale. The left image is the upscale. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, we're going to be basically talking about some facts about these cars. Obviously, that's kind of the point of driving them. But of course, because this is all Gran Turismo, this is the interior of most of them. I figured out that around this time, a lot of manufacturers were not in panic, but they were trying to adapt to the new market. Even still today, it feels like this is the case, and it's been the case, that means then for, well, 20 years, manufacturers are trying to take their sports cars and SUV-ify them. They saw that in America, especially, the SUV market was exploding, and they still wanted cool cars to be made. I guess you could say that it's a little bit different now. They're not really trying to make the cool cars anymore. Oh, look at him. He's beautiful. Excuse me. Excuse me. So the idea was that the sports car for the family. That's why the doors, as they do on the actual final version, open as they do. And oh, fun fact as well, there's actually multiple concepts available for this car. See, this is the reason I chose GT6. It has the most cars in the series, a lot of them just ripped from the PS2 version. That might be generous. The PS1 version as well, hence, you know, the interior. They fully went just quantity over quality on this game. That's why I love it so much. Though please keep the formula you've currently got. Come on! I love the noise at the top end of this. As Gran Turismo goes back in the day, we insult this game a lot for the sounds, but you know, most of the older ones. This, come on! This is pretty good. That thing sounds meaty and across the line. Beautiful. It's so funky. So the door lines, the door lines, you can tell, are so jagged and out of place. But I think it looks pretty good. The mouth looks a bit smaller. The car looks about the same. But it's cool to look back at these concepts and really get an idea of what they were going for. But by today's standards, it really looks like a Tesla Model 3, doesn't it? Look, something you can do incredibly well in Gran Turismo is do some upgrades. You've got weight reduction. We could fully upgrade pretty much every car, I feel like, to just insane levels. And that's pretty awesome. But one huge factor that I loved about GT6 is that the game literally had auto sculpt and interior customization. Damn, no custom rear wing for this car. All right, that's a shame. And of course, we can't do it. That was the thing. It was really uneven. The new cars were so great. The old cars less so. If you didn't play GT6, I wouldn't blame you because, you know, the release date was awkward. But look at how many RX cars there are. There's a ridiculous amount. Like, why are there so many pages of them? Now, this is the one I purchased, but there's also the Type 2 concept, which apparently has the same year, but the front mouth is now taller. Wow. This is great. But there is one special version I definitely have to show you. That would be this, the RX-8 Concept Le Mans version. Mate, it definitely looks like it's based on the Type 2, but my God, it looks so sick. I gotta be careful because I spend all day on this RX-8. Let's check out something different. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mitsubishi. Okay, Please don't leave. I promise you, I'm not about to drive a car. Okay, slight lie, because this technically is a Mitsubishi Colt. This is a concept. It kind of looks like a BMW i3. Holy crap, look at the exhaust on the back. Why are they red? Also, those back seats are properly just in there. How far back are those front seats? What the So before I scare people off showing a Colt, this is the CZ3 Tarmac, and it's actually a little bit cooler than a Colt for a few reasons. Number one, it doesn't look like a Colt. It almost has that same like Eclipse bubbly look they did before they killed it and made it an SUV. But what if I told you it has all-wheel drive? And now what if I told you it was powered by a 2-liter Mitsubishi engine? Does that give any hints? What if I tell you this was powered by the 4G63? Yeah, the 4G63 all-wheel drive. This is an Evo. This is a Colt Evo, and I am absolutely for it. This thing feels amazing. To give you an idea, the Colt has 97 horsepower, which is, well, it's 97 horsepower. It's what? It's crap. There's no other way to describe it. Whereas this had over double at 218 horsepower, which is just... it's just mental. Like, I genuinely would consider if they made the Colt like an Evo Colt, even if it looked at the same styling and it had a good engine, I would absolutely add one of those to the garage. Again, coming back to old Gran Turismo, I've got to be honest, because on the new Gran Turismo, I kind of struggle with the controller. Up the inside, may have gone off-road a little bit. Has it put a Corvette against me? It has. This is not the lineup I expected at all. Oh my god, look how far ahead they are. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No! I can do it. No, I can't. I didn't know where the finish line was. What an incredible car. I genuinely love this thing. There's so many freaking sick cars that we've lost time because of the fact that they got rid of them. But I genuinely really want to see more concept cars come back to Gran Turismo. Like, look at this thing. It doesn't make any sense. And that's what makes it so sick. Speaking of sick, how about this big old Chevy with a cover all over it? Now, this is really, really cool. This is one of those gaming moments that I honestly love and would love to see more of. But I feel like car brands are just disconnected these days. They don't understand the want for cool concepts and the ability to try things in games. I feel like the only one similar would probably be the FT1 concept, the super kind of tie-in with Gran Turismo. But this is a Chevy Corvette. I'm sure you know it. It is the 2012. Wait, those lights. What the hell? It looks like the old Corvette, or of course, like an old Ferrari. Hell, it looks like it could be an F12 Ferrari at the rear, like maybe the super fast, whatever. But okay, there's some cool things about this game-wise and also reveal-wise. The car was added to the game before its actual debut. You could see those test elements on the rear. It's actually properly different, which is kind of cool. It was actually playable in the game about 2 and a bit months before they revealed the final thing, and so we drove it around, big cover on it. I'm kind of curious what the sound's going to be like on this. the old Gran Turismo sounds. Here we go. Come on. Yes, I want to drive it now. That's not bad. Oh, even the interior is blanked out as well. Oh, that's so sick. Now, something really cool about this car that apparently, according to the Gran Turismo forums and such, this car, oh, actually, sounds pretty good. Look at the rear light there. That's so sick. Now, 6th gear in this car is quite special because as long as you are drafting, it has a dead gear, 6. And gear 6 basically has no top speed limit at all. As long as you are drafting someone else, you will go as fast as that car can possibly go. Excuse me. How dare you? No! Oh! I try my best, folks. How do I always crash on the straightest road there is? Dead gear, dead gear, dead gear, dead gear. Come on! Come on! Oh, it's so quick. I need to try and get behind like a Red Bull. How do I even do that? I guess I'm gonna have to upgrade it if I can. If not, then it would be online. Does the online still work? Probably not. Is anyone still probably playing the online? Probably not. There are a few problems here. I had trouble catching up to the first place person previously, but now I've got the dead gear. I should. Oh my god. Oh my god. 240. Give me the 250. Oh, you are in so much trouble. Wait, is that one of the other Ooh. Yep. Yes, it is. No, I got a trophy. I'm gonna have to sync my trophies now. 260 miles an hour in a Corvette. What a machine. Speaking of machine, that's a crap segue. Nissan may possibly be one of the greatest brands to work with if you make a game. They are incredible at just providing you with anything you could need. As you can see, there are 6 million different versions of the same car, however. This is Gran Turismo 6, baby. But there's one particular GTR that I want to look at. I take it back, there's actually 2 of them. But this concept, this is what I've done my research on. This clearly looks a little bit different to the GTR. It was constantly changing, constantly evolving, and fun fact, the interior doesn't have one, at least the internet says that, which normally these premium cars do, but it was very close to finish, clearly. It looked incredibly similar. Honestly, it looks more like the new version of the GTR that's available than the old one, which is pretty funny. I hate the new one, it's disgusting. But I take it back, she's dead, so we don't get any anymore, which is sad. No, there's 2 of them I found. That one. This is the 2001 concept version. The 2005 concept version is much closer to the original, but that, I don't know if I've ever paid attention. What is that? That is disgusting. Oh my god. Am I really about to spend like 1.4 million on this? I need to save some money. I just spent $1 million on this thing. God, it's so disgusting. I'm sorry, it's not. It's quite interesting. So, some cool facts about this. Obviously, it completely changed, not completely, like 90% changed over what we saw here. Let's have a listen. God damn, it sounds like a 4-cylinder. I really don't know what to think. I think they're okay, now it's alive and it looks pretty nice. It looks incredibly dated, the model, but, you know, it's fair. We've got a nice hood view at the very least. Some trivia about this car. Supposedly, there was actually, for the American market, going to be a V8 variant that was also rear-wheel drive. What the Of course, we know the GTR is the twin-turbo V6 all-wheel drive, just absolute efficiency monster, to the point it became the YouTube car. And then the Lamborghini Huracan became the YouTube car. I say no interior on this one, which rather unfortunate. I genuinely would love to see. I know it's like the last thing that's made, but it would be cool to see more interior concepts, because that's always so interesting to me. I remember going on the Supra event and they basically didn't show us anything. Do you know why? Probably because it was just the BMW interior at that point, which ended up being pretty much the case anyway. So just show us it. Now, because of, you know, issues in Japan and efficiency and small cars that must be made in Japan. Well, it turns out that the car wasn't actually planned, that version of it, the V8 one, wasn't planned to be made in the Holy Land of Japan. No, they planned to make the special V8 version of the GTR in the UK. In the UK, the GTR V8 rear-wheel drive could have been made in the UK, and that would have been an absolute claim to fame. I think the UK would be in a much better place if that became reality. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Kind of makes you wonder, why didn't they do that in the US? Kind of makes more sense. I think that would have, I don't know, it would have been really cool. I think more Americans would have liked it, right? The lovely Acura NSX, or the Honda NSX. We love this car, and this actually has a detailed interior, which I'm really happy about. But this is not the concept car. No. We're not actually talking about this one specifically, because this came out. This was a thing. In fact, we got a new NSX, but in between that, there was another car. There's even a concept view of the car in GT6, which is really nice, but it costs $1 million. Thankfully, I'm not buying this one. No, say hello to the HSC concept. Looks a little bit like an NSX. It looks like it could, it's a Honda. It's very clearly a Honda by style. And this was actually going to be the new NSX. Okay, the NSX name was basically gonna die, and this was gonna be the replacement. Is what people thought. Yep, sounds like that. The dimension of the car was actually really similar to the NSX, and so it was pretty obvious that it was it was going to be the replacement. But clearly the HSC never saw the light of day. Man, this track. There's so many cool tracks in this game that... the suspension's so like soft and floaty. What the hell? There's so many odd cars in this game. Now you might notice if you punch in a little bit, you can only just see the wing mirrors. That's because those are cameras, which is pretty cool. I've driven one car with camera as a replacement, and it's a little weird to get used to. And honestly, you just kind of feel like mirrors are better. But hey, aerodynamics, speed, stability. So clearly they just never made the car. They ended up giving us an actual NSX version, a new NSX, which is pretty sweet, I would say. I think I really quite like the new NSX. It's fine. But it is worth noting that the car development was obviously a little bit shaky, but they did try and actually get something on the road. Actually, the HSV, which was a race car that looked kind of similar, well, had a road-going version on testing. It was spied in testing. However, that was also binned off. So they tried. They really did. And then they were like, nah. Let's just do the NSX. I personally don't know why they were just trying to kill the name. It clearly looks like it could be an NSX, but maybe they thought purists would be upset by the fact. I don't know what was going on in their heads, but this thing is super cool. And in my opinion, I think the front, the rear could have, used a little bit of work. It looks really old and dated. The front looks miles better. The whole shape of it, the size of it, than the new NSX. And I like the new NSX. Speaking of cars I like, I don't know if I'm actually going to like this one. I completely take back any hope. This might be one of the ugliest things I've ever seen in my life. What you're seeing here is not a Ford concept, even though it kind of looks like Ford from like, what, 2003? It looks more like a Puma than the Puma does today. No, my friends, this was Hyundai's attempt at capturing a younger audience by having a reasonably priced car that, quite frankly, looking at it, it's genuinely one of the most ugly things I've ever seen. I don't know what it's trying to be. Is it an SUV? Is it a crossover? Is it a hatchback? What are you? It looks like a Puma Alpine piece of shit. The rear looks kind of cool. Yeah, please don't make me drive it. Here are some things I like about the HCD Concept 6. List concluded. No, I guess the rear is a little bit cool. It's a little bit funny looking. It's rear-wheel drive, which is kind of fun. Moving on. This is the most expensive car of today, and it might be a giant waste of money. But what I do know is it's not. So why did I say that? I don't know. Let's have a listen to this thing. Oh yeah, fun fact, by the way. There are two Cadillac in the game. You say Cadillac? Cadillacs? Cadillac. I think Cadillac is cooler. So here's the stats page for this thing, because I really want you to look at this. This is a 7.5 liter, 760 horsepower V12. Why? And it also kind of looks really cool. It looks kind of Corvette-y, like modern Corvette-y, which is pretty interesting. Yes, it currently costs 1.25 million, and yes, I just purchased this damn thing. Look at the size of those rear pillars. Now you sit down here, boy. Why does it sound like the meme? It sounds like a meme sound. They're just casually flying past an LFA. That is insane. Holy crap, it sounds amazing. Now, let me adjust my voice, sorry. Now, let me tell you a little something, boy. Tell you a little something about this V12 motor. It doesn't have the same ring to it, honestly. Look at this thing. I am on the craziest difficulty of Gran Turismo possible, but I'm going to give them a chance, because I am kind of walking on them. It sounds crap in this game. It sounds like there's a bee stuck in the bonnet, genuinely. Maybe a horde of them. It's so weird seeing like a new model in this game compared to an old one. That Viper looks brand new. That could be a model that's in the new game. I think it might be just, improved a little bit. Oh, it's an SRT Viper, if you will. Mate, this thing was created by Cadillac because they thought they wanted to show us in a different way that they are dedicated to the cause of Le Mans. I can't help myself. But don't worry, folks, although it is ridiculously powered by a V12 and didn't see the light of day, it has some green features. It's eco-friendly. Can you believe it? Eco-friendly V12. How is it eco-friendly? Well, my friends, what they decided to do is incorporate the system, which is pretty common, I feel like, these days. My RCF had it. And then the first car I knew that had it was my dad's Chrysler 300C. It had the ability to turn off some cylinders and become a very eco-friendly V8. 760 horsepower stock. It's just unheard of. However, of course, it wasn't made. So I could tell you some cool facts about, like, oh, it was one of the few production cars that could hit 100 horsepower per liter. They didn't actually do it, so can't really tell you that fact. Can't help but think that maybe the reason that the idea was binned off is because, I don't know, maybe it's stupid. I love it! Come on! Come on! Oh, I'm walking on you! Ah! That's a second. I don't care. So not incredibly eco-friendly as the thing was advertised, because I'm considering the fact that in the case of the RCF, it went down from a V8 to 4 cylinders. So it was very eco. It's like a Ford Focus all of a sudden. Eco-friendly V8 motor. Look, have you heard of the brand Isuzu? If not, I wouldn't really blame you. So to jog your memory, in case you have seen them, they have a truck that looks like it has the front end of a GR Yaris. Is the best way I could describe it. But turns out they made cars. Or at least they made a concept car. They actually make some cars, but they made a concept car. But in 2002, they decided, no cars. We don't want to make cars. We want to make trucks. And that's all they make now. And quite frankly, they do quite well for themselves, because I see a lot of them. I think from what I know, they're rated higher than is legally possible in the UK, but obviously they're legally rated at, lower. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, this is their concept car. It looks kind of like an American car. Like, genuinely, when I first saw this, I was like, they made cars? Again, history, but this was built concepted in '89, which is so freaking sick. Oh yeah, a little fun fact for you. It's fun, I guess. It's got a Chevy small block V8. But anyway, here's some of the other cars they made. They make cars? I guess they haven't for over 20 years now. Oh, best city on planet Earth. Look at Queen's Country. I'm not saying Kings. I'm not. Now, yes, it did have a V8, but it's an American V8 and, 89 concept. So let's be real about this V8. As you can see, it has 289 horsepower. 289 horsepower, what the freedom! Oh, it has an interior on this one. Oh, I like that. That looks pretty cool. Feels kind of space car-y. I wish I could look around, but I assigned the right stick to shifting because I'm a baboon. Maybe they were following the Japanese market and said that, oh yes, 200 horsepower, because it kind of feels a little bit more than that. It's sluggish as hell. No word of a lie, but let's be real, it's doing pretty well against this GTR, which we know doesn't have 200 odd horsepower. It's kind of a lie. You beauty, you sexy beast. Please get out the way. Big old V8 coming through. Oi! Let me through, let me through. So if you're wondering, how the hell did Isuzu come up with a car that looks, well, pretty good and, well, American? Well, my friends, this was actually co-developed with a designer from Lotus. Yeah, because this is back in '89. Maybe they were part of the people that went over to America and then decided to come back. So, they got some inspiration from the horse and carriages over in America. Fucking no. We need more city races like this back. I love driving through London. They need to do a fresh scan of London and get London built here. That'll be beautiful. Gran Turismo, come on. Just leaning on nothing but Japan, are you? Please let it be known that clearly this car is not built for the Europe, because what the frick? I've been driving consistently and sensibly the whole time. But no speed and power. What a crap car. Can you see why it wasn't built? Potentially, yes. I think it looks really cool, though. It's so cool to go back and look at some of these concepts. And, of course, Gran Turismo is filled to the brim with them. So if you really need to see more of them, please do let me know, because I love looking back at these old cars, the old concepts especially, and ultimately seeing what we missed out on. Please smash that like button and let me know if you know of any cool concept cars you want to see. Look, what a shot! Thank you so much for watching. If you want to know more about old Gran Turismo games, check out these, because I did a video on this one and another one.